If you would join me for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to do roll call. Nick Carlisle.
Here.
John Kimmick.
Here.
Hazel Nesbitt.
Here.
Mike Williams.
Here.
And Bob Whiter. We're all here. All right, the next thing I'd like you to make sure you all know that this is being recorded. So you'll know we do have sign-up sheets over there if you would like to speak during the meeting. Please limit your time to 3 minutes if you can. And then we're going to move on to, Mike's going to give us a couple of updates on some things going on.
Yeah, we going to put out here where the new concession stand is going to be. We're putting a concrete slab with a concrete ramp going up to that. We have gotten 2 bids, Element Solutions and JV Contracting, to do that work. And JV Contract, we have decided to go with them on that concrete bid. And also just want to remind people that next February 15th is the last date if you want to put in any information if you're wanting to rent out the snack shack. Thank you.
Okay. Can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes for January 11th, the meeting minutes?
I'll make motion.
Second. The first and the second, all yeas?
Yay.
Yay.
No nays? Yeas carry. Okay, a minutes approval for a motion to accept the executive meetings for January 11th. A motion, please.
I'll make a motion. Second.
With the first and the second, all yeas?
Yay.
Motion carries. All right, then we're going to move on into reports. In the reports now, you're going to find over on the counter over there, there is your sheets for your budget is laying over there for a financial report. You'll see a balance sheet that's carried over there, and then you will also see a longer dedicated sheet like this, that if you look across the top, that's where you'll find all of our dedicated accounts. And then you just kind of look all the way down to the bottom. You'll see how much is carrying in each one of those. You will also notice on the balance sheet, there is it's towards the bottom of it there, you'll see where it says FSCB operating account and then an FSCB amplified account. That amplified account is the one we talked about before. We're a cash in, cash out operation. So all of the money that comes in to the operation always just goes over into that account. It's just a holding account for our money. Then we will transfer out money periodically through the month that we need for operating expense. That's what will go into operating expense. From the operating expense, that's where we will pay our bills out of. That's where we'll write the checks out of for whatever payroll and whatever things we have to run the operation will come out of that. There is a line item there's restricted funds and unrestricted funds you'll find. So if anything is taken out of for roads that paid out of that account, you'll see it come out of that account. At the same time, you would see that same amount come out of operating account. So it's a checks and balance situation is what happens. So we can follow it that way. We also make interest on our amplified account. We haven't got the most current one yet, but because of the timing it comes out. But I know literally in December, the first 2 weeks alone for what we had in there, we made a little over $400. So we'll pick up a little money throughout the year just when staging all of our money there. So, but there's reports over there now you can look at and review, so that way you can see where we're spending the money and kind of where we're at with everything. We're really good. We're ahead of the budget right now on some of our collections, which is good. So, by QuickBooks really gives us a real good breakdown. So we're a little bit ahead. which we like. We think part of that also is we've had a lot of new owners coming in, which helps for more assessments, and people seem to be a little more active wanting to pay and do things. So that's adding up in the till for us. So then we'll move on to maintenance report. Mr. Williams.
Yes, in the past couple weeks, maintenance has been working on clearing ditches on Summer, Meadowview, Spring Lake Drive, Dusk, Union, Bristol, Brook, Canyon, Deerwood. They have graded Taurus, Phoenix, Astor. We've been replacing culverts on Elm Drive, Burr Oak, Brook, and Moonbeam. In the next few weeks, we will be working on more ditches, replacing more culverts, continuing to work and renovate Crystal Bathhouse, and also putting a road in going down to the backside of the dam for our lake project. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Lake and fish. Miss Hazel.
I talked to Nick. He's the one that's doing our fish and our lakes. And I talked to him about putting the fish in. We lowered the amount of fish that we were going to put in because the money wasn't in the account like it was supposed to be. So we lowered the amount of fish, but still having quite a bit spent on it. We'll probably be putting the fish in the lakes in the next couple weeks. So that's all I really got to say about that.
I'll pick up on the lakes. So Crystal Lake, we've selected a contractor for the lift station. Hageman Construction is who we picked. We had 6 contractors that showed interest, but only 2 showed up for the pre-bid walkthrough. One bid was $61,535, and one bid was $66,555. We did go ahead and take the higher bid. The reason for that is due to the company we picked. Hageman specialized in this kind of work. They were very professional when they showed up for the pre-bid. They took notes. They gave us their card. You know, they were on their game. The other company that showed up was more of a general contractor, remodeler type company. So we just figured, you know, let's go with the most professional company. Costs a little more, but we're only going to do it once, so let's do it right. And the only downside is it could potentially be a 10-week lead time on the pump motor. So we're working with them now. We're going to sign the documents we need to sign and get this going. So hopefully by this summer we got a nice full lake that stays full. So that's where we're at on that one.
And Nick, do you have some other updates for us?
Yes, to add to what John said, Hageman is a reputable company that's been around for over 40 years. And a couple of things that I wanted to mention is absentee ballots will be available March 15th. If anyone can't make the meeting, stop by the office and get one, or call and get one mailed to yourself. One other thing I wanted to mention is February 18th is the deadline to sign up for running for a trustee position. So if anybody's interested, make sure you get signed up before February 18th. So that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Mike, do you have some of the SOP changes?
Yes, first one here is 1.5, hiring and dismissal. The responsibility for hiring and dismissal of any personnel rests with the majority vote of the trustees for all employees. Office personnel are to be vetted by the office supervisor. Maintenance personnel are to be vetted by the maintenance supervisor. Gate personnel are to be vetted by the gate supervisor. And also we added that the trusteeship will conduct pre-employment background screenings for all security personnel and manager personnel. And Woodland Lake SOP Volume 1, camping cabin requirements, site built. We have removed from the SOP that the door restrictions are a maximum of one 36 by 80 exterior door. We have removed that from the requirements.
Okay, I think, excuse me, I think last week we did a first reading on the motion changes.
Correct.
I think we need to If I can get a motion that we accept that first reading?
I'll make a motion to accept the first reading from the previous monthly meeting and the first reading of these SOP changes as well.
I'll second.
With the first and the second, all yeas?
Yay.
Any nays? Yeas carry. Okay, do we have any other ones that we need to make a motion on right now on the ones we just read?
I'm going to go ahead and do the second reading.
Okay?
1.5, hiring dismissal. The responsibility for hiring and dismissal of any personnel rests with the majority vote of trustees for all employees. Office personnel are to be vetted by the office supervisor. Maintenance personnel are to be vetted by the maintenance supervisor. Gate personnel are to be vetted by the gate supervisor. And what we did add is the trusteeship will conduct pre-employment background screenings for all security personnel and manager personnel. Change in cabin requirements on SOP Volume 1. The removal from the SOP is the restriction on the door. Maximum of one 36 by 80 exterior door will be removed. 10.8, liquidation of trusteeship assets and equipment. All material and property other than general scrap materials shall be put out for sale from the trusteeship. The trusteeship shall notify by the posting in the office, at the gatehouse, on the website, items for sale. Part B, any real property assets that the trusteeship intended to liquidate, sell with a value of over $50 shall be placed for sale by the sale of real estate. Number one, we'll be setting a sale amount by treasurer from input from the realtor. Number two, clearly identifying said assets for sale with a for sale sign. Number three, posting such assets for sale at the office, gatehouse, and the official Woodland Lakes trusteeship website. Number four, once a property has been placed by sale for trusteeship, property owners owning a neighboring lot with common property boundaries will have 2 weeks to buy, first option to buy. It is the responsibility of the interested property owner to contact the trusteeship with their desire to purchase. Number five, if no neighboring property owners contact the trusteeship to purchase the property asset will be open for sale to the public, to the general public. Once an offer to purchase a property asset has been accepted by the treasurer, the buyer has 10 days to pay in full, or the property asset will be placed back up for sale. Number seven, once payment for said property has been satisfied, the trusteeship will issue a general warranty deed to buyer and file the same with the Washington County Recorder of Deeds. 10.10, the community center common ground usage. Any and all groups wanting to use the Woodland Lakes Community Center and common ground for fundraisers to raise money for their group must be registered nonprofit group. Number one, they must provide the trusteeship expenditures, profit and loss financial statements every 6 months as requested. Number two, the community center common ground usage agreement must be filled out. Appendix G. Number three, must pay the deposit and required community center usage charge. Number four, the community center common ground usage agreement must be signed, the deposit paid, and the required usage fee must be paid to save the date. Number five, an individual property owner would like to do a fundraiser to raise money. They must be sponsored by Woodland Lakes trusteeship. They must turn over all monies raised to Woodland Lakes. And number six, any fundraiser that do not fall under these categories will require board approval. That's it. Thank you, Bob.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
With a first and a second on accepting the readings, all the yeas?
Yay.
Any nays? The yeas carry. Just a couple of things too. Also, we've had some personnel change at the office, you're going to notice. Miss Darlene now is our new office manager. Darlene is going to oversee her staff of the ladies that work everything for the homeowners, and then also we have hired an accountant to come in to just be our bookkeeper Her name is Stephanie Boyce. She has a company. She's out of Union, Missouri. She will come in and work for us. She will not be full-time because she's very efficient with QuickBooks. Matter of fact, she teaches it to a lot of people, and they call her for a lot of problems. Companies do. So we welcome her on board with us to help keep us straight in our books, our taxes, and all of our filings. So she'll probably be there, you know, maybe 15, 20 hours a week at max, but she's pretty quick, so, and pretty good at what she does. So, but Darlene will be there running the office, and we'll be overwatching it all. So we'd like to welcome her for that. And we also did have a quick meeting with the Woodland Community Neighborhood Association. They do have a little flyer that they gave us. It's a two-sided flyer. It's just things that they have done throughout the time here, and things they've, you know, worked on and done. A lot of this we didn't know. I didn't know. So it's, if you get one of these flyers, it's just really nice to see what this group does do, what they are putting back into the community, and they can actually put it in print and show what they've done, and the more things they want to do. So anything that they get involved with, you want to try to help support them, because they are an active group. They are a certified nonprofit group. They have been willing to even open and show their books to us because they're collecting money, you know, for to be used at Woodland. So everything is on the up and up with them, and I would just like to acknowledge that and thank them for the work that they do. John, do you have anything else?
We are interviewing another person for security this afternoon, so cross your fingers and hope, because we've been having a hard time finding somebody that wants to work out here. But, we'll see.
Do you know what the pay or what kind of?
Depends on your qualifications. I mean, honestly, our goal would be to get possibly like a retired police officer or high-end security guard that has all the knowledge already needed, but, you know. So the pay start, I think we posted it as $15 to $25 an hour, something in that area. That's it.
Okay. Any other board member have anything else?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify one thing that I mentioned earlier. February 18th is the last day to sign up to run for trustee and be printed on the ballot. I just wanted to clarify that.
Do we want to talk about check, sign up for running it? Is there a deadline on that?
Oh, this,
Yeah, well, I said
already
Mike
said
did.
that.
Said it already.
you mentioned it. Okay, all right. Folks that have signed up to speak. Ms. Jeannie? Good morning.
Good morning.
Please.
To tail on to what you just said with the snack shack, what is the deadline to submit amnesty propositions, or the assessment, I'm sorry, I'm losing it, because it wasn't what I was thinking about, to put in proposals for the,
15th of February.
thank you. My only question was, and it just came up while you were reading the minutes, when you have to read the SOP proposal twice, does it only become effective then?
No, I can answer that. We, as a board, discuss these rules, and we make these rules. And the way it was practiced in the past is it immediately goes into effect. It just doesn't become ratified and put into writing in our books until we read it twice and all accept.
I mean, is that general policy across how a board is run, or is that just something you've chosen how to follow?
I think it's in the SOP that way, that it has to be read twice.
It is.
It is in the SOP that we
It
do
is.
have to read them twice. After the first reading, you have to make a motion to continue considering the change, and the motion has to pass. After the second reading, you have to make a motion to accept the changes as read. To follow up and try to answer your question, it does say in SOP that the board can change SOP at any time, more or less, is what it says. It says we have to ratify it after election of new trustees.
I understand you can change it at any time, but is it able to be enacted? Does it become policy until after the second reading?
the way I said, the way I've seen it practiced, I'm not a politician, but yes, especially think of an emergency situation where we have to make an SOP to stop something from happening. We can't wait until 30 days till the next meeting or whatever the case.
4
to
months.
read it.
It's 4 months.
Yeah, to read it twice and say, well, just keep on doing whatever you're doing, until we can do that.
Yeah, so it's been 4 months.
So, yeah,
So,
so the way it's been done, since I've been on the board discusses any kind of changes, they are enacted. Like the quiet time one was enacted immediately, raising the quiet time.
but that's corporate rules as you follow
I can't
them.
answer you about corporate rules, I can just tell you the way.
We are a
it was
corporation,
explained
correct?
to me as a board member.
Okay.
Anybody
Thank
else
you.
wants to
Thank
jump
you.
in? I don't know what to tell you.
Thank you.
In agreement, the second one's supposed to be done like this. You guys do it twice in a row, and I guess ever since Bill got was first on the board. The whole point of the second reading was to do it the next month.
And we
in case
did
anybody
this
ever
time.
missed the meeting. But now that you're recording it and all that, you
Yeah.
may want to change it.
The research that I did a little bit on it in the past was the reason for that is kind of for our own benefit, because these meetings are really not supposed to be open to the public. These are for our benefit. So we're reading it twice so we all understand it before we vote on it, because we're not asking for your vote on it, right?
It's more or less was notification for us. That's why it was put in that way. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
It's that way.
Okay.
Okay, thanks,
In case
Brian.
somebody missed the meeting, they can get it the next time.
Sure, thanks.
Now, like you said, since we broadcast it, they can look at it anytime.
Yeah.
Sure, Nick's got something he can read here for him.
This handbook of procedure is intended to be a living document that is, one, which will be revised periodically as procedures or requirements change. Revisions will be the responsibility of the Board of Trustees. A revision record is included in the procedure to allow holders of the document to verify their version's current status. Once the procedure handbook is adopted, all revisions shall be indicated in the revision record upon approval by the Board of Trustees. An exception to this policy shall be that resolutions adopted by the trusteeship may immediately be incorporated into Appendix A of this document without creating a formal revision of the document.
There you go.
Go.
Okay,
What's that?
Could you at some point send me that link to your choice?
That was in the SOP, right?
It's-
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
No, it's on the SOP.
actually, that's Article 12 in the indentures.
Oh, there you go. Anybody else sign up?
anybody else sign up? Can I get a motion, we adjourn?
You're adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Thank you.